All right, today we're gonna take a look at r/scary stories. Let's see. I wish I'd never watched my family's old home videos. Nah, cause are these real stories? Never been on this era in this type of Reddit. My sister found the tapes in the attic after the funeral, hidden away in a cardboard box filled with a dozen or so tapes. Our father's version of a time capsule, I suppose. Ooh. She gave me three of them before I left to return home, stored in a zip-off bag as she thought they'd rot or leak if it left unsealed. I said, "Oh my god, I can't freaking read. I think Dad meant for you to have these," she said, in her voice distant. Geez, Bakugo. He kept them separate from the others. At the time, I didn't think much of it. Just old home videos, nostalgia maybe, or his version of a time capsule. It wasn't until 2 weeks later on a rainy Wednesday night that I started digging through them. I had too much to drink and I felt sentimental. Aww. The tapes were HIA cassettes from the late 90s. On them were handwritten labels written in an elegant hand. Springfield Trip 93, First Steps 1994, Xmas 95. And under each label, Nate, my name, had been scratched on with a black marker. There was something comforting about handwriting, familiar but not quite, a strange nostalgia like remembering a dream from someone else's childhood. I found an old camcorder Dad had bought me back in the day, plugged into the TV with a mess of Frankenstein cords, stuck the oldest tape in and hit play. The screen flickered, static, zzz. And then a baby, me, I guess, being held by a woman I didn't recognize. We were in a wild field, must have been summer. She had curly brown hair, big sunglasses, and a laugh that came deep from her deep from that. Oh my god, I can't read. That came deep in her belly, bro. Holy. She looked happy. She looked in love, but not with me. With whoever was filming. That's it, sweetheart. A man's voice chuckled from behind the camera. Get a close up of those chubby cheeks. The woman cradled the baby, me, up towards the lens and winked. That's our boy, she said, and then turned towards something off camera. Oh my god, let me read, bro. Her smile faltered slightly. The camera panned over. In the distance near the tree line stood a figure, far away, unmoving, dressed in dark clothes, just standing there watching. Did you see that? The woman asked. The man zoomed in slightly. The figure didn't move. It's probably just someone out for a walk, he said, though his voice was quiet now. She turned to him. That's the same man from yesterday, Frank. The camera jolted slightly, a jerk of motion, and then static, a hard cut. I rewound and played it again and again, unsure what to make of all. Unsure what to make of it all. A creepy chilling crawling up. Oh my god. Why can't I read, bro? A creepy chill crawled up the back of my neck. Oof. Alright, I felt that one. The second tape was First Steps. Same woman, same band, same baby, Nate. But this time something was off. The house didn't match my memories. The wallpaper wasn't the one I grew up with. The couch was a different color than in any family photo. When I took those first steps, wobbling and laughing, I fell into the arms of that same strange woman. She kissed me on the cheek. You did it, my big boy. In the background, through the window, at the edge of the yard, just beyond the fence, that same figure, still staring. I paused the tape, rewound it, went frame by frame, and there it was. Black clothes, long dark hair, pale skin, a barely visible face, but one I recognized. The man filming stepped into the frame briefly, broad shoulders, strong jaw, glasses. Not my dad, or at least the man I'd grown up calling father. He gave the woman a kiss on the cheek together with their child, me. Oh, he gave the woman. Oh my god. He gave the woman a kiss on the cheek, and together with their child, me, they made a perfect family. Damn. Then came the third tape, Xmas 95. This one started out one familiar living room globe with garland and wrapping paper. A crooked artificial tree stood in the corner. Ooh. Holiday music crackled from the radio. The woman, my real mother, I realized, wore a red turtleneck, no makeup, just joy in her eyes. She handed a present to the baby version of me, a toddler in green footy pajamas. Frank, that was his name. The man from the earlier tapes. Smiled from the carpet. He adjusted the camera and tripod and gave it a thumbs up. Alright, and I said, let's see what Santa brought you. He stood and knelt beside me, helping tear the paper. The camera, now unattended, faced slightly askew, catching the hallway just past the living room. Then movement. A tall figure stepped into view. His hair was jet black, his clothes were dark, his posture was stiff and wrong. He stood half lit by Christmas lights, staring straight ahead. It was the man I knew as Dad, the man who raised me. But hearing this footage, he was something else. My mother, the gasp came first. Frank, she was Frankie's ear. Then scuffling and a sign of paper crinkling, Frank moved quickly, rising and standing between the stranger and his family. You need to leave, Frank shouted. This is our house. What do you want? My baby self started crying, and the man in close stepped forward. A glint of metal by his side, a crowbar. Then chaos followed, a scream, a crash. The camera jolted off the table, landing half beneath the couch, angled low toward the floor. It didn't stop. It kept reporting screams, sobbing, clatter of glass, a child's wail, and with a heavy thud, a body fell into view. Within the sliver of view beneath, Frank dropped into the frame. He was bleeding, coughing. One arm twisted beneath him. A heavy boot stepped over him, the man. Frank looked panicked, and with a sickening sculpture of metal and bone, the man beat Frank to death, striking his face with the crowbar. Once, twice, again. Screen flickered, went static, but it wasn't. After a few seconds, the tape resumed. A different house, a different Christmas. New wallpaper, new tree, quieter. I was older now, around 3 years old, smiling, unbothering, opening up a present. A toy dinosaur, battery operated. When I pressed it back, I roared, I grinned from behind the camera. Do you like it? My father asked. I nodded, smiling, and playing with my new friend. But in the background, just barely, almost missed, came the muffled sound of a woman crying, begging, please, please don't hurt my baby. Then footsteps, a door opened, the same voice from the camera yelled something down the hall or down the stairs. I didn't flinch, just pressed the dinosaur button again. It roared and I laughed. The video ended. I sat there long after the screen went black. The camcorder was still humming, but I couldn't move. My heart felt hollow, my body cold. I kept thinking about Frank, about that woman, the man who took me and made me call him Dad. Kept thinking about the toy dinosaur too. It was still in a box somewhere in my closet, my favorite toy growing up. And I thought about something else, something I hadn't realized until now. In all those tapes, there was no other kids, not even my siblings, just me. I'm going to call my sister. I need to talk to her about this tape. Talk to her about what I just watched. I want answers. I want feelings to go away. I wanted to know what's on the other tapes. That's it? Man, that was whack. Whack! Maybe have a stroke in front of camera for this? That's it, bro. That's it. No more motherfucking reading, bro. I'm gonna have that shit read towards me. Reddit scary stories. And now, you know what, let's go back. Let's see. I think my girlfriend is a monster. Oh, snap. My girlfriend, 21, and I, 23, have been dating for a few months. We both bonded over the great outdoors, guns, and big trucks. That's the American dream. That's the American dream. When I first met her, there wasn't much to say about how cute she was. Add that with the fact that she knew how to handle a gun and drove a truck with one hand on some dirt, uneven trails. She's perfect, honestly. But I began to notice some odd stuff as things started to settle down after the high of our new relationship. She rarely spoke about her family or her parents. Never even got to learn where she was from, or to be specific, the exact location. All I got was usual. I flocked from the Midwest, she said it, with a chuckle. Like she just told a great joke and gave me this look with a twinkle in her eyes that suggested she didn't want to talk about it anymore. So I dropped it, like I always did. Her residence wasn't the only thing that bothered me. She also doesn't seem to sleep from what I know. Well, she does sleep, or at least I think she does. Because there are times where I'd be sleeping, just wake up in the middle of the night and see her in the bed next to me, reading a book or just sitting in the dark. And she seems to be fine in the morning. No bags, no fatigue, just a face full of energy. That's ready to take the day by storm. Honestly, I don't know how she does it. Oh yeah, there's also the dogs and cats thing. She hates pets with a passion for some reason. When I suggested a puppy for our shared apartment, she quickly shut down the idea. But I guess the hatred was mutual because every dog and cat we encountered growled, hissed, snarled, or barked at her. There's also that one thing I noticed when we went camping this one time. I didn't think much of it, but it's starting to make more sense now that I think about it. After we parked our truck by the parking lot and signed off our names, and until was the forest was lively, birds were cricking, crickets and other insects were doing the same usual anthems of the woods. But as we got to the epicenter of the noises, which is also the spot where we decided to set up, noises just suddenly stopped. Nothing, no birds, no insect, just eerie sounds of an ominous breeze coming through. Got real quiet suddenly, didn't I? Didn't it? I said. But she said next to me out complete. That's just what happens when I'm around. You get used to it after a while. Her face was blank when she said that. No smile, not even her usual snarky cringe she does usually. She was dead serious. I never really thought much about it, but I've been online recently and having seen multiple videos about skinwalkers, wendigos, and other paranormal stuff. A forest going quiet out of nowhere, according to a video I watched, is not a good sign. It got me thinking. Was something in the area where we were, or was the woods reacting to her? I'm still on edge now, looking at her with a smile that I've come to find disturbing recently. I'll update as soon as I can if I can find out more.